Joining us for more on that is Danny Shaw, a retired boxer. Danny, welcome. Athletes across the country are making their position known. Games are being called off. We haven't really seen this before. What more can you tell us about the reasons as to why it's reached this stage?
We haven't seen something like this, such a watershed moment in the sports world since the 1960s, perhaps the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City, when Tommy Smith and John Carlos famously hoisted their black fists in the air in protest of the discrimination back in America, the assassination of Martin Luther King that had occurred. So this is truly a historic time. This is 4 years to the day since Colin Kaepernick first took the knee, symbolically standing up to police brutality and white supremacy. In the sports world at the time, vilified Kaepernick. He has now been proven to be 100% correct and validated. And now there's a major thrust across the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the entire sports world to stand in solidarity with this mass movement against police terror. And as we see in Wisconsin, in Kenosha, the police continue to run amok. They think they're invincible, untouchable. They can harass, humiliate, paralyze, and murder people at will. So these NBA athletes are normal people, just like the rest of us, and they feel the social trauma, whether they've witnessed firsthand or through video, these horrific, heinous, racist police crimes, like the paralyzing of Jacob Blake that we saw on Sunday.
Right, and just to expand further on that, Danny, the cancelling of sports events, does this highlight the extent of racism against the African American community in the United States?
Yeah, no question. This is a boycott. This is a players' strike. They're taking power into their own hands. And to quote Chris Rock, if these players are rich, imagine the owners. The owners are wealthy, to paraphrase the famous comedian. So we have a league based on this labor. We don't think of it as labor because the players earn millions and millions, but these owners cash in with billions and billions of dollars. So there is a high degree of exploitation. And what the players are saying, represented by LeBron James, who's kind of a role model, if you will, for mainstream America. And he got on Twitter about 6 hours ago and he said, enough is enough. He dropped the F-bomb uncharacteristically. So players have reached a point where they're sick of seeing people pulled out of their vehicles and gunned down. We saw the 17-year-old fascist wannabe cop last night in Kenosha mow down 2 demonstrators, shoot another protester, injuring him badly. In the way that Fox News and the conservative media outlets have reported on this is truly disgusting and truly fascist. And there's no doubt that it can lead to more of the self-appointed, deputized vigilantes attacking Black Lives Matter rallies.
Right, and these vigilantes, these white militias, you would think that the authorities would take a stance here, considering the emotion that's involved. Why haven't they done so?
That's where we see the double standard. This 17-year-old, after opening fire on an entire crowd of demonstrators, then was able to walk through the police line. We saw the police actually chumming it up with this murderer beforehand, offering him water. So there's all types of information that's emerging. We saw in Austin, Texas, the horrific murder of Garrett Foster, and no one ever went to jail. So fascists are using their cars and pistols as weapons against demonstrators. And then again, you have Fox News, who are looking for any justification, any way to whitewash police misconduct, police terrorism, police violence, police murders. So the main headline yesterday was that there was a skirmish with Jacob Blake and the police before the 7 shots were fired into this father's back in front of his 3 children who will be traumatized for life. And then today, the main headline for Fox was that they had found a knife in Jacob Blake's vehicle, as if that was somehow relevant, as if that somehow justified the near murder of this unarmed, innocent individual.
Right, you think they would use a taser or something. Shooting 7 times in the back, it does sound a bit like the officer didn't have any bullets left. Danny Shaw.
There's only this training. There's no true training here. There's no such thing as a warning shot. They barely ever use tasers. It's always shoot to kill. So this goes to the very core of policing in America. It speaks to 5 centuries of white supremacy and police violence. So it really goes beyond these individual, horrific, high-profile crimes, and it's endemic and institutionalized in this system.
Okay, Danny, thank you very much indeed for that. Danny Shaw, the retired boxer, joining us out of New York.